3 going down the freeway down to Miami with Many Brother Mike to the Turk Basil at Miami's world famous Hot Basil. Rock and roll review, Larry fucking Bird, flour, Larry fucking Bird wax, live resin on top. Sorry, I had to go with live resin. That's okay. Fruity? It's good. I only put about a quarter gram of flour in there, and maybe like a 0.1 to almost a 0.2 of the live resin on top. Wait till you see how long this will burn. And what happens, the live resin oil coats on the flour and causes it all to combust slower. Giving you a more flavorful egg that's actually stronger in THC, that's basically infused. Oh, beautiful song. DJ M giving DJ E a run for his money. It's going, we don't even light it no more. But the men that hold high places, they must be the ones to stop, to mold a new reality closer to the heart. Total political statement. And the artists in their arts, with the creativity closer to the heart. By the way, get your rush ticket to doing a 2026 tour. Where's in the morning? Each must know their part. Reality closer to the heart. This song is deep, man. This song is deep. Yeah. Getting the opportunity to see Rush at any point, now, like, you never know when it's going to happen or not. Well, Neil Peart had passed away, their drummer, right. And a girl from Germany in her early 30s named Anika, I can't remember her last name, took over the drums. They had asked Alex Van to do it. Before Alex could say yes or no, he says, send me his isolated drum tracks. Let me see if I can answer that. He said, no, I'm not going to do it. Couldn't pull it off. Not enough to pay homage to the man, which was important to Alex. But this girl from Germany fucking nails it. And I've seen Rush 6 times with Neil. What tours? I guess it was probably
Portland, Oregon.
Roll the Bones and Presto tours. So was there a big rabbit on stage?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Presto tour. The other one have big dice and arrows. Yeah, that was the Stakes and Arrows tour. All right there, ladies and gentlemen, there's an example of I knew the tours that he went to just because of what was on stage. IWW, Miami. We're going to Art Basil doing a section called Turk Basil, Miami, Florida. We're just outside Fort Lauderdale now.
No. Oh yeah, I'm good, Aiden. Appreciate you. I will be doing a live broadcast judging the USA Squash Shop in Miami. That will be a 2-hour stream I'll be doing. So you'll be able, folks will be able to see it live as it happens in Miami. That's why I came down here. Please give us a subscribe, folks, if you could. I appreciate all the likes and the views. Degrees here in Miami.
Yes, the rest of the world is freezing their asses off. Hey, down here in Florida, we're experiencing second summer.
Second summer. Miami.
This is about the only time we can sit on our porches, though. We really enjoy our outside. Like,
yeah, but you can't during the summer. It's too hot to go on your porch. We get Larry fucking Bird Flower, and Larry fucking Bird live present. And I'll be doing live clips, obviously, before the 4 o'clock start, East Coast time, for the USA Squash Shop, done by Uncle Stoner. We'll be looking at the best of what Miami has to offer.
How many times have you judged the squash shop?
How many times have I judged the squash shop? I'd say there's 75 of them, and I've done over half.
I think I've done 4 or 5.
Yep. I remember them. Chalice.
Yep.
Tommy Chong's Blazer Cup.
Yep. The one in Boston, Massachusetts.
Yep, the Boston. Yep, the Harvest Cup.
One other one.
Was it a Kushstock?
Yeah,
Kushstock. I had some many Mike there, reminiscing about the cup to squash shop, and now Miami.
It's amazing how many people are actually in Florida. I got to see some of the really old heads last night that I haven't seen in a very long time. Running into Tony Vazura from was crazy.
Wow, yep.
You know, I see that guy literally, we were having a conversation. I've seen that guy in like every country. Every time I go somewhere, man, there's Tony Vazura.
Yeah.
And I'm smoking in some random country. Some random country, we're standing there smoking together, and he always has the best hash. I don't care what anybody says. When I smoked last night, that single dab fucked me up for 4 hours.
Wow.
And it was so good. He pulls this hash all apart and puts it back together again. I don't know, it's heated
separation.
It's like a separation. The shit is just so, I don't even know how to describe it.
Wow.
The flavor is over the top. I don't even know what the terpene count is, you know, what percentage. But I'm gonna guess he's got to be close to 7 to 10%.
Wow. That's insane.
It was so good. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go find his booth. I'm hoping that he's there today. Because if he has hash for some,
oh yeah, tell him.
I heard that there may or may not have been some hash, and he had some of the better deals, where some of the guys were charging over $100 a gram.
Yep.
His was right at $100 flat.
Oh. Well, that's good to know.
You hash heads out there. You're thinking, fuck, I'm doing good selling hash at $35, $55. These motherfuckers in Florida are getting $100 a gram. So
that is the median price. Aiden, sorry that you can't go. Wish I could meet up with you there. Lake Pond, Gas's Farm, on the comment. You look like the dude from Tulsa King. I appreciate the compliment. And I've gotten that. They're talking about.
Yeah, Sylvester.
I had one guy last week that had the best comment. He says, I look like a Romulan, Sylvester Stallone.
We just need to get you a fucking suit. It'd be over. It'd be the best. It would be the best Halloween costume you could ever do.
Wow. And they're saying this to a guy that usually has his Zeppelin shirt on, and now we putting one on for it.
Oh, you'd have a Led Zeppelin shirt underneath your suit.
Yeah, I would. See, they know. WWD said hello to you.
Who did?
WWD did a bunch of numbers.
Oh, WWD. I don't know that I actually even participate on YouTube. I know I have an account and I've had it there for years. I don't know if I've ever posted anything on my YouTube account to really mess with it. I do have Instagram, and I mainly do stuff on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I haven't really posted very much on there. I should have spent more of the last couple of years putting together the big rec facility in New York. I should have probably posted more of that.
Yeah, people like to see that.
I've got a lot of pictures and I've taken a lot of stuff. I just haven't really put it on there, and I think it's time to really start messing around and getting some of the old footage. I mean, we've got footage from early 2000s all the way through, never shared.
Wow.
So, you know, and
that's important because it shows the history. And
we got all of our buddies. Think about how many of our friends were the photographers and the
photographers and the people, the photographers that taking pictures of them.
Yeah, all over High Times and the other events, Chalice and otherwise, that we got the opportunity.
Emerald Cup.
Yeah.
Always loved the Emerald Cup. I think to definitely win now, in 2025 and on, Emerald Cup is the biggest cup you could win.
I think Emerald Cup really just keeps it raw and real, and it's all about the weed, and not about the ego.
Exactly.
You know, I'm really interested on how Matt and the boys are going to plan on rolling out the new version of High Times.
I was so good, and I mean, we know these folks personally. I made a call to them all the day that I knew they bought it. Congratulate them, because I can't be an asshole and say, oh, you bought High Times magazine, and not call you and say,
well, you know, we kind of have to forgive the past and look forward to the future, and hope that they have the ability to do something even more amazing than what it was. You know, for me in the cannabis space, my pops, he had a stack of magazines next to the bathroom, next to the toilet. It was High Times magazines. My dad had a subscription, he had every one. I jacked a couple of High Times when I was a kid, and he was so pissed because the ones that are actually missing out of his collection are the ones I stole as a kid, which was like 3 of them. And so those particular 3, I don't even remember which ones they were. I have to ask my dad, because I think it's time to try to find them for him, you know?
I would look for it.
Yeah, you know, because now I feel bad that I stole it, but really, in essence, those magazines sitting next to his toilet is what inspired me to go further than just being in a weed family. You know, I wanted to be in that magazine.
Exactly.
I wanted to grow exceptional weed that my peers looked at and said, "Man, that's good weed." Not just everybody saying, "Oh, man, that's good weed."
What did I tell you yesterday when you smoked up? I said, "Oh no, I'm good." I said, "That's good. I have a reputation for holding." You said, "What's that?" I said, "If people found out you drove me and you weren't high as fuck, they're gonna be, what the fuck? You had Mikey driving, he ain't high."
Man, I was, you know, as I was running Betty Brothers back in the day, we were smoking, you know, 4, 5, 6 grams of hash a day, and, you know, 6, 7, 8 grams of flower a day, fucking around smoking once, and not really caring because, you know, we were making so much product. 9 times out of 10, it was more trying what we were making more so than anything else. My habit of smoking now is, man, I really like some really good flower. I hardly dab.
Yeah.
I might take a single gummy. That single gummy might make me fucked up for a good half the next day.
I now like blending the 2 and infusing my cannabis, like we did on this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the best of all worlds.
I get a little crazy on the weeds, and I might take 2 gummies. Yeah. That shit's like a roller coaster ride for me now. And before with the edible company, we were face smashing 200 milligrams and laughing about it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and
Like
now
it was nothing.
fuck, 200 milligrams went down to 20 milligrams and I get the same effect. It's this.
Hello, Blake in the Turtle Army. He's a regular on there. He don't. Him and the rest of my audience, I haven't really talked to myself. In the terms of cannabis, they would call both of us what the word would be, experts.
OGs.
OGs.
Old guys now.
Yeah, we're the old guys now.
I used to be the youngest guy in the room fucking with weed, and now I find myself being one of the older guys fucking with weed. And that's odd to me because I was usually the youngest guy in the room.
Yeah.
Because I started so early.
I like having it in me biz. He's younger than me, so I always have a younger person there. I do miss having, but the older person there is the ones we have lost. Cannabis industry's lost a lot of warriors that most people never even hear of, and that's a shame. Hopefully,
sacrifices for so much, like the amount of time. Yeah, the amount of time that the people that were around us had to do in jail for the plant. Now we have investors coming in, wondering if it's good money or bad money. Well, fuck, we didn't worry about good money or bad money.
No,
we had to worry about money to get ourselves out first. You know, making sure you had a nice chunk for the fucking attorney's fees. And you had, and make sure your balls were big enough to take on the adventure you're about to do.
Merry Christmas, Blake.
So I tell you, the cops coming through every hole in your home is uncomfortable, to say the least.
Then no one, someone like, people won't know the name Robert Platson. We call him the Black Tuna. This gentleman, a dear friend of ours, all right, went to jail for 27 and a half years for cannabis. He did it on a boat. There's a book called The Black Tuna Diaries and a movie called Square Grouper, where he did on the fishing boat, smuggle bales from up to Santa Marita, and he posted his smuggle route to coming in. So the newspapers had called him the Black Tuna King and tried conspiracy. So he got 27 and a half years. What do you think this guy did as soon as he got out of jail after serving 27 years federal prison and his wife damn and true to him all that time? You remember?
He went to the high times.
Why?
So he can see everybody again.
And not only that, it's where he came out and started a program called Should Grandma Smoke Pot? Remember that?
Yeah.
That's why he went to the High Times Cup to promote that. So this man that did 27 and a half years in jail for cannabis came out and did a seminar. Should Grandma smoke pot? Because we need to have the conversation that she might. She might be able to eat it. She might be able to vape it. She might be able to get a cyber ointment. She might need to smoke it.
It's amazing how many of these old ladies are hiding gummies in their purse.
Exactly.
And that's the thing is you'll see is now the branding is evolving, and you're looking at the demographics who is buying cannabis now, and the majority of them are 45 to 70-year-old women that are consuming edibles
and making the decision for the household of what they get.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and you're watching the edible consumption and the numbers go up for edibles. I knew in the beginning that edibles was the largest margin. I could take a little bit of weed and a whole lot of sugar, make a bunch of products, and I could get more for that weed with that sugar than I could just any other way of, with using trim and things that, byproducts to make distillate.
You take a pound of steel, you can make a few forks out of it, get $11, or you can make a lot of little gears for watches and get $100,000 for it. It's how hard and what you do with the product once you get it. And your edible line was always phenomenal and won a lot of these High Times cannabis cups. So someone said to me on one of the videos, nice necklace. I said, oh, thank you. It's not a necklace, it's an award.
Well, it's a piece of history.
Thank you, piece of history.
You know, what was the original cannabis, you know, the way things were originally, it's just not that way. It's all Chads and Brads now, right? Like
Loaded. That's why MJ Biscott was off the hook. But yeah, I was the one that said that. Shit was dead.
Dead. Didn't even go. I'm down here. Instead of going and promoting one of the brands, you know, or something I'm messing with, instead of being at MJ BizCon this year, there was no point. I think I got to see more people down here in Miami, and you know, and really
spend a more quality time.
Well, now as we have the hemp bill ending, we've got a solid year to really, you know, move through some of the regulated products that we had and see what the new regulations are going to entail.
Yep. Blow out what you already have and grow it and blow it up. There's no reason to stop producing it while we're under the blanket, but we can.
Well, I think the drinks are going to be the way. And the drinks are the most regulated thing, especially here in Florida, because you have to have so many, they have so many rules on packaging and stuff, is where a lot of these states with the hemp bill didn't. Florida's a little bit different. You know, they won't let you use coloring and things. They're particular on the packaging. You know, it's just a little bit different down here in Florida.
So, therefore, because of that strictness to that, as a consumer, I'm buying a better product.
If you're buying a hemp product from Florida, you're probably buying a better product. They won't let artificial colors and bullshit into the products. They really do care about what's being made here in Florida. And I appreciate that, because at the end of the day, all we want is quality products. That's what we want. We want to consume something safe. I want to make something safe because I want to sell more of it.
Correct.
So,
more better project now.
I think Florida is a win-win for everybody if you can get your hands on Florida products.
So I don't want to sound corny, but I'm going to put it simply, especially for the folks at home. Florida is known as the best orange juice in the world.
Yes, correct.
Why can't it be known for, and I'm going to just use the phrase, cannabis juice, hemp juice, hemp drink, hemp derived? Because if the climate down here can grow oranges that good, and I've seen how good this climate is to growing the hemp, and knowing that there's strictness on that product being made, automatically me as, I went into a store in New York and saw this made in Florida, like they do in orange juice, Florida made.
Well, you're going to see a big shift. Hemp, when you hear folks in the future talk about hemp, they're going to be talking about hemp in textile form, hemp stock style, textile growing hemp.
Yeah.
Cannabis, the way that we're growing CBD is regular cannabis. It just happens to have more CBD than THC in it. I'm not growing it any different or doing anything different than I would a regular THC plant. I think the feds have caught on to that. If I take THC, even if it's a little bit, and I stack it over and over again into one big pot, I got one big pot of THC.
Yes, you do.
Regardless, it's there.
Yeah.
It's a molecule. There's an X amount of it, and when I'm adding it together,
basically, molecule isolation.
Yep. And so
fragmenting, they call it.
I think the feds are finally catching on, and it's time to, create some federal regulation around this stuff to make it safe for consumption, and stop this nonsense. Deregulate and reclassify cannabis.
Heard that here live from Miami.
Well, shouldn't be any different than a microbrewery, and the rules and regulations for alcohol. Because hell, smoking weed or eating cannabis is a hell of a lot safer than alcohol.
Yeah. And their standards are growing. So, and in terms of producing, manufacturing, you can be a medical grade clean, pharmaceutical grade clean, food grade clean. Everyone, SOGs that started up, we always maintain that before we were regulated to do it, and usually go above what the regulations allow us. That's why I'll do clean green facilities, which is getting approved by a private, nonpartisan, I guess you want to say, organization.
Yeah, when I first opened up Medi Brothers, the only regulation I could come up with, the only way that I could make my kitchen as well, is like, I'm going to open up a catering company first, and I'm going to have the state come in and certify me as a caterer.
Yeah.
And that's how Medi Brothers started. Technically, I was a Benson catering company, but just happened to put some THC in some of my catering products.
Yeah.
You know, and that was Medi Brothers. Medi Brothers' real name was actually Up Top Events and Catering. Was my company.
Oh, no shit. I did not know that. But it's something to do every day. And I know him over like 20 years.
We met in BC,
Vancouver, British Columbia.
In early 2000s.
Yep. Yeah, 20 maybe.
When Godbud came out. When Mark Emery was helping BC Bud release Godbud.
Yep.
And I was at the Blunt Brothers.
Blunt Brothers, yeah. The Blunt Brothers. There's a name for you folks at home.
Yeah, when BC went medical, I was the third person in line for the first dispensary. They didn't care of foreigners, you just had to be of age. So I put my name on, stand in line, I walk in. They had Godbud, which I bought a big ounce of, and then they had hash that I had never seen before. And there was a BHO extractor up there called the Butter Tea.
Yeah.
And he released the first BHO very early. I can't have been 2000, 2001. I don't remember exactly.
I remember those days well.
And that's when I started. I was like, how did he make this? And then I started down the rabbit hole of early 2000s, open blasting small amounts with butane hash.
Yeah.
And we were smoking it off of knife hits.
Yeah, on titanium nails that were just made that we dabbed on them when it was red hot.
Well, even prior to the swing, because the first thing was that swing. I don't remember who made the swing.
You got the swing, I call that the shower head.
It spun over, and then you drop your dab, and it had the bell, and you took the hit. And prior to that, we just had a bottle that we cut the bottom off of, and we took a nice hot knife hit like you would a regular old school hash.
Yep.
And that's how we started dabbing. Hot and hurty. Didn't even know that we weren't supposed to take them that fucking hot.
No, that's why. And that evolved into the cold start.
Yeah. Once they figured that out.
Oh, but the thermometer is to tell you the precise temperature you're now, so you know if you want to go in at 520, 480.
Yeah, the kid for dabbing back in the day, it was like spectacle. You had so much shit.
Well, we're coming in close to where we gotta go, folks. Consider this an epic video. A lot of history of cannabis was discussed there, my boy, baby brother Mike. So we're gonna make sure to get you some footage. Got our coffee and everything on the way there. And like I say, on a separate video at 4 o'clock will be the live squash shop judging by us and the rest of the judges on the panel. Love, peace, and cannabis to you all. Thank you.